So, what is your favorite VAT mix?
What's your favorite one first?
No, I asked you first.
No, you.
No.
VAT means vibroacoustic therapy. What's your favorite mix?
Jinx, you gotta go first. No,
you.
All right. Man, I love them all. But my favorite so far is 432 Clarity in the Morning. That has the most profound and the most effect on me, I find. I study myself and kind of just like listening to my body when I'm listening to these different tracks and different things to feel like what just how I feel afterwards. Like, does it actually make me, like, what is the most effective one that I can just kind of consistently come back to? And that is the 432 Clarity in the Morning, and then the Alpha Wave Binaural Beat. Those are like my two. And the Confident Focus. Those three, those three are like my go-tos.
He's an alpha junkie.
I'm an alpha junkie.
Okay. Let's go through brainwaves real quick for the people.
Yeah.
All right. So, everyday, day-to-day executive function, beta brainwave, right?
Beta, yeah.
So that's like most of where Americans are all the time.
Beta brainwave.
Beta. We be beta. Alpha is flow state. So from beta, we can drop down into alpha. This is flow state, a focus, like cognition, clarity, that kind of thing. Then we can go deeper. We can get into a theta state, which is like you can start to. Some people do fall asleep in theta, so it's good for that. We start to get some healing benefits when we go into that state. Really great for meditation, visualization, just like that deep embodied safety, and much more. And then delta is like where we can really get into the REM sleep. We can get into the subconscious level of healing, and like just that deep rest where the body is able to start producing DHEA naturally. So then we're waking up happier and all these things. Then we have gamma, which is like the visionary, like genius consciousness, like very good for inspiration and things like that. So brainwave states. Yeah.
Cool. What about you?
432 Clarity in the Morning. Dude, I love that one too. But like my favorite, like that one I really like headphones style, honestly. I love it on vibroacoustic therapy too, but it's like a go-to for sure for headphones. But I really like 40 hertz ultra physical healing.
Oh man, that one too.
1 hour mix. That one, because it's so good for inflammation. Like, so it's been a really, really integral piece to my fiber healing process. That one, like, it's pretty much, I almost like exclusively use that one. Because when I'm like, if I just like need to get a session in, I'll go to that one. I really love the nervous system reset too.
Yeah.
That piece is gorgeous. It feels like silk moving through your body. Silk and angel voices.
I do hear an angelic voice when I listen to that one.
Yeah.
Specifically.
Yeah, a lot of people say that.
Yeah.
It's cool. I don't know how that happened, but
oh,
it's because I say that all the time. A lot of people be like, "Is that you singing on that?"
I know.
No,
you're like, no.
It's just the synth that I was playing. I love synthesizers. I believe that synthesizers are this is a very personal statement. Nobody has to agree with me, but like, I've always had like sonic synesthesia, and I have in a lot of different forms gone to deep interdimensional spaces, and the sound of God for me feels and sounds like synthesizers, like these big frequency waves of energy. And so that's why I love composing with synthesizers, because I feel like I can channel what I hear and feel when I'm in those visionary states much more easily with that instrument. There's some other instruments too that are like integral to that sound, but I love synthesizers. There's so much you can do. Anyways, and rant on the nerding out.
No, nerd away.
But yeah, I would say, those, we'll talk about all the compositions, but for me personally, that one.
Nice.
what I see client wise, like one that just like
across the board,
really across the board helps people like that like snap into a new place on the timeline of their process. Like, you know, we all have our different steps. It's the celestial rebirth.
Man, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's why I say like all of them, because like I just
know they
bounce
all
around.
have different things.
But celestial
that
rebirth,
for.
absolutely, yeah. That's another one. That's
celestial
another,
rebirth. I've got so many testimonials from
Yeah.
people on that one, and like, I mean, like long, like lifetime legacy healers, like people who are like in their retirement phase, like having like huge transformations with that one, and like the way it was created too was so spontaneous. Like Dreamy at our location in Psychic Sister in Portland had a client come in that, you know, never came in their shop before, but heard about the vibroacoustic therapy and decided to come in and had a really powerful experience and was working through a really big trauma and shift in self. And she called me about it and she was very grateful. Like the person like ended up, you know, blessing the shop, spending a lot more money than just on the session. And she was like, yeah, this is a person that would have never come in here.
Yeah.
And they had this experience and they already booked their next session. They're coming back. And she told me about what they were going through. And I was like, I'm going to make something specifically for them. And it just came through so fast. And then they came back for the session, and I just loved being able to like do that type of distance healing of like hearing of this client and then being like, I got you.
This in. Yeah.
And then like, you know, them being able to receive that very special moment. And then the icing on the cake is that it's become a special moment for so many other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's how celestial rebirth came through. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Cool.
In case you guys are wondering what we're drinking today, we're having whoosh whoosh tea. If you guys don't know about whoosh whoosh tea, it's an Ethiopian tea. And it's energizing. It's kind of like in the same family as like, I would relate it most closely to guayusa. If you don't know what guayusa is, yerba mate is a close type of energy of that similar type of tea. But it feels more, it's softer like guayusa. But it's nice. It's very energizing.
Nice.
And but not in like a like kind of way. Like it's all right. Yeah. So, you know, I'm really pumped for this part of the conversation. I'm stoked for this. Thank you so much for being open to holding space for this conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's June and it is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. So that's a big deal because, yeah, I feel like it's just not even really a big enough topic.
No, not at all.
At all, ever.
No.
Yeah, so, yeah, this is like, you're in the hot seat.
This is our month, guys.
Yeah, you're in the hot seat. So I just have a bunch of questions that I want to ask you about mental health and men and
and men.
Yeah, let's talk about manly things. Man.
How much you lift?
How much protein do you put in your protein shakes?
Not enough.
I'm sure, actually. But yeah, so I got my questions down here. If y'all ever see me looking down, I'm getting my brain together. Got these questions down here. But I guess I just want to start by we're in a very interesting timeline, very interesting time in humanity in general with like the whole like just everything. How do you feel being a man in this time? Like, is it easy? Is it hard?
I would say it's difficult.
Yeah, in what way?
It's difficult because in this age of technology and the internet and just so much information being out there, so many different podcasts, so many different voices and opinions and like news portrayal, and there's just so many different variables that that portray men in a certain light, right? Whether they're portrayed as this alpha male just out speaking against women, and these behaviors that don't necessarily mean positive, like mean masculinity, right? Or positive masculinity. Like they may be masculine things to one person, but for them to be given as a label that a man should follow, like across the board, is you're putting men and guys in a box, and so I guess just in today's reality, in today's world, like I feel like we get like a lot of backlash, and we get like there's just a lot going on, and there's a lot to hold down. I mean, like with because
it's kind of extreme, right? Like, because there's like that side, like the toxic alpha, like gym bro, steroid man, and then there's like this like demasculination movement. Also, which is like
it's huge. It's putting us down in a way, and it's tearing. It's a battle. It's a spiritual warfare, is what I feel. I think that's why it's so difficult, is that it feels like a spiritual attack. Of course on a lot of different people, but in its own way on the male community. And so like for mental health for men, like it's just so imperative that we like stay on top of it, and that we just like hold our own space, and that there just needs to be a lot more conversation around this, and a lot more just a lot of leaders, like a lot more leaders and credibility going towards that, where we can look at actual representations of what we need across the board, and not just for one specific type of man. Like these are things that can be utilized across the board.
Well, I think it's up to guys like you. I think that this is the generation of like creating that territory, because I don't know about you guys, like I don't know about the other sisters out there, but I believe we need strong, clear, powerful men that know that being a powerful man means being a container of safety for your community, and know how to step up to that. I feel a lot of times that like there's distortion in the divine feminine movement and the feminine empowerment movement that like displaces masculinity in such a way that like puts certain obligations and responsibilities on women that I don't believe are natural.
Right.
And maybe some women feels good to hold all of that, but I think that there's a lot of connections between that and like developing things like uterine fibroids and all these other types of strange like things that exist in the world now that didn't before at such high levels.
Right.
And I think there's a balance, and I think there's a lot that is needing to be healed in all people, honestly, and it all comes down to the nervous system. In all people, but I definitely feel like women are better at coming together and like having women's circles, and just being more in tune with emotions and things like that. And we need everybody to be doing that. It can't just be one-sided, and also...
No, it needs to be a balance.
Yeah, it needs to be a balance. Everybody needs to be doing that. So let me see. What's my next question? So I wrote down some good questions. I don't want to forget them. So my next question is... So considering that, we know that it's not really a thing. It's not talked about. The world is very much too many voices. And what do you think is needed, though? Like, what do you think that men are needing more of?
Opening. Like, opening yourself up. Like, realizing that it's okay to show emotion. It's okay to express and feel. It is okay to, like, take care of yourself in ways that don't seem masculine, but... Like, you have to. You can't just work all the time, and you can't just go to the gym and work out all the time. Like, yes, that is a form of meditation to some, and competition to others, and however you perceive it. But, like, there needs to be more of a focus on how to, like reset and restore, and to be honest with yourself about that and how that works for you and what that looks like for you, and to have fathers and leaders, like I said, and other men in your community like showcase that and show you how to do it. Like give examples, be that example. I think we just need more of that across the board, and I don't think a lot of men know how to. Like they don't even know where to start. The poster for a man getting his emotions out is, and it stems, some people go to the gun range, some people go to the gym, like I'm not saying like men don't already have that for themselves in their communities or what they do, but like there are other ways. Like for example, I talked to it was a client I had the other day, and he was ex-military, and he's creating a center for soldiers and those that serve our country, that get out of it, that have extreme PTSD, to come into that center, that facility, and be able to express themselves and not hold that down, and not, because when you're in war and you're on the field and you're, just going day to day, like you don't have time to feel or like really like think about those type of things. You have a mission, you have something to accomplish, you're being told what to do, you like have these set of rules and regulations, and then when you get out of it, it all comes out or it doesn't, and then you implode, and then the suicide rate, and so
we see
it was beautiful for him to say that he's trying to help his brethren and those that need that, because he himself, I asked him the question, I was like, how do you handle that? How have you handled that after you got out of service? And he was like, it took me a while, but once it finally, I cracked open, like I realized, what I was missing and what was needed, and I need to help do that for other people. That's a leader. That is what we need. That is like, you that because you lived through it, and you've served, you've been in war, so you know exactly what it will take for others to be able, of your sort, to be able to like experience that. Exactly. And I find that beautiful. That's a perfect example.
Because we all have that ability to hold a pillar for a certain type of community, and that is a really needed community. I'm so glad that that's happening.
Yeah.
And what do you think that guys need less of, though?
Less of?
Yeah.
Guys need less of, less like toxicity.
What's that mean? In what way? Like, elaborate.
They need less of those leading them, being less of a sheep, I guess you could say, to those that think they know best for other men, and they need less of.
What do those? So I'm gonna kind of try to get you to get specific, so that the guys that are hearing this can like have something to go off of. What is, in your opinion, depiction of a toxic masculine leader, or like maybe not the best way to handle the emotions all the time, or like what do you mean, I guess, like let's get a description.
Less of just like the whole I'm gonna go to the club, spend money, fuck bitches, and just kind of live my life in these materialistic things. Sorry, excuse my language. We can cut that out. Less of the materialistic pleasures that that you think makes you feel better, and more of the spiritual essence, and finding like what really makes you feel good, whether it's drawing, whether, like I said, it's the gun range, whatever you feel that you can get that restoration out of and restore your nervous system. Like less of the things that used to make sense to just splurge on or just have, and you have no depth. You have no knowing of yourself. You have no idea like what really makes you not feel empty inside at the end of the day. Less of just hiding. Less hiding, less like wanting to just show off. In this way that is just like, oh man, like here's this mask, like this is what I'm about. Like, you really know what you're about? Do you really know what makes you, like, what you really need? you know. Otherwise, the internal reflection wouldn't be so harsh and rooted in this like image of like what a male or a toxic male looks like in a sense, you know, that we're getting.
Yeah. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, okay, so something that you brought up in that last statement was like this kind of archetype of like the going out to the club, the partying, the like kind of heartless, that's what I would call it, to keep it PG approach. But and it's funny because there's a lot of music and celebrities and like these like archetypal leaders that are like projecting that like that this is the way and like if you do this you'll be like successful and like me and all this stuff and then like that's a realm of it, and then you know everything is a song, even the talking heads on social media, they're all the influencers and like you know there's so many different songs that are pushing the collective in that way. Like, you know, I think a lot of this heartless love is very toxic for men and women, and it's destructive and people are hurting themselves. But it's funny because there's a sound to that. There is an anthem of that energy, and it's like pretty much in all of the popular mainstream music, that's the code. That's what everyone's being programmed to think. So that is so interesting because Primordial is kind of on the opposite end of that spectrum. And so how do you think that sound has impacted your mental health? And, you know, what are some of the nuances that you experience in just working with the music through speakers and headphones, and also the vibroacoustic therapy, perhaps, that you maybe some insights or things like why that's good for your mental health, or like some why would other men maybe want to use that as an outlet?
Well, I'm already sensitive as it is to energy, just being a Cancer and just being like born in the way that I was born. But even with Primordial and sound healing that I've been doing for like the last few years, like my ears have become even more sensitive to things that I used to listen to that I can no longer listen to. I can no longer listen to certain metal tracks that I used to listen to. Like I feel the energy behind it. I'm just like, oh crap! Like I used to like rock out to this, and like now just through sound healing and the just the potent like vibrations and frequencies that like my body is starting to heal and understand and come to terms with, like it will not allow certain things in anymore any longer, right? So there are certain things I can't listen to anymore, which is, it's fine, you know, it's great actually. I know that that's a change. I know it's working. You know, I used to be able to kind of just subconsciously just turn that off and not care and just put on some, you know, BS and be like, all right, I'm gonna ride to this. I can't anymore, you know, like so that is that's one change that I've noticed. But also it has, I don't know, it's been such a profound and prolific like transformation in my life, sound healing, vibroacoustic therapy, like in general. It's an easy way for a male to, because we're always listening to music and, you know, we're programmed, like you said, and like, you know, hip hop and just different things that, you know, pop music that's projecting like these negative images and just frequencies that are hidden underneath the layers that are just like subliminally programming us, that like it's an easy way for a male or a man like myself to just put this in my ear, listen to these frequencies, listen to these binaural beats, and like heal, and on a level where like it doesn't take much effort to do so. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of men, I feel like when it comes to restoration, don't really know where to begin, let alone there are certain practices like we talked about going to the spa earlier, that like some guys just don't do that. You know, they don't see it as like a masculine thing to do. It's a sissy, you know what I'm saying? You want to go to the spa, put a face mask, you know, take a bath, you know, just chill, kick it.
But they should.
But like they should, you know, especially if you listen to like hip hop artists like Larry June, you know what I'm saying? Like Larry June be talking about, pour some orange juice, I take care of myself, I'm gonna have a smoothie, I'm gonna take a bath, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna, you know, go work out, and I'm gonna meditate. Like these are things that should be spoken of, and these are things that like I utilize in my practice, and in combination with sound healing and music therapy, that like it just takes it to a whole nother level. You know.
Well, what do you think about this? Is just a speculation because I'm not a man, but like one thing that I really like about the music therapy that we have at Primordial and the vibroacoustic therapy is the privacy piece. Like I'm very much like I believe in privacy. I believe in elegance and grace. Like I don't believe in sharing everything with everyone, and like I need to like know you, and like that's just not how I am. And so the fact that like when I'm having an emotional experience in the vibroacoustic therapy, there is no other practitioner there. There is no one touching me. There is like it's just me. And that moment and whatever's happening between me and the sound, that reflection is very much like a personal and a private thing. And whatever I experience in that, I can choose to tell or to not tell somebody about that experience. But the transformation happens and the healing happens and the messages are received regardless of whether I actually share that information with somebody else or not. And I imagine that that is a desirable effect for a man to not have to share everything.
Privacy is
like
huge,
because like I respect men, and I think there is a certain amount of masculine power and reverence in being emotionally controlled, in having that ability, because you're the rock, you're the foundation. So having that, but that doesn't mean that you need to shove down and suppress and never feel.
It's a balance.
It's a balance, and to have a space to recover, to go there so that you are even more stable. I feel like is like, I don't know, that's my projection at least.
I think that last bit you touched on is so important, because as a man, like that is that's a piece of myself that I've witnessed transform, especially in our relationship. It's like, in, you know, previously, like not knowing or having these tools, like you're so imbalanced, right? Like you have so many different variables affecting you, and the only ways you know how are, like I said, like the club and just different things that like, okay. But with the privacy of being able to like transform and explore the healing with myself and like my own state and my own being, and you know, be in a vibroacoustic session, or you know, be in my own like state of being while listening to the music, right? I've witnessed the balance come back in, and I've, you know, been given more energy. Like I'm clearer, I know how to hold space, I know how the safeness starts to come in myself, which then reverberates around safety and our net, financially, you know, intimately, like just in a connective space where like it's clear as day, like it's affecting my reality externally, because internally I'm regulated, I'm balanced, I feel great, you know. And so it's I think about that all the time, like, because you know, I mentioned before I come from a background of guiding people through trauma-informed therapy, and like, you know, in quantum healing, a lot of times you go back to childhood, and a lot of times people have these experiences with their parents where their parents will say something off or react in a certain way, and I'm like, how much of that was really truly what they meant? Like, as an adult now, I can see how the stressors of reality, and like you don't even know what your parents just went through before they came through the door, and now you have this rub with them because they don't have any tools, especially our parents. They didn't have any tools like at all. They were just out here like trying to thug it out, making a way,
trying to take care, right? Like, and I'm like, man, like just seeing how transformation has happened in myself, I'm like, I can think a little bit more before I speak now. Like that, even just being able to not being reactive, like it's so powerful how we can impact our people, and like our interactions like that. Okay, this question is fun. I'm excited for this question. What are some myths or like false beliefs that you think that men hold about self-care that they need to let go of?
That they need to let go of.
What's some myths that need to be dispelled about self-care for men?
First and foremost, it's okay to give yourself self-care. It is okay to take time for yourself. That whatever that looks like to you, do it. As long as it's not harming anyone else. Like, take care of yourself. But I think some myths, I would say, like spa, man. The spa is the shiznits, dude. I'm telling you, go to the spa, get a massage, like let go, like the spa. So like since I've moved here, like these new routines have come into my life, like getting a massage, like monthly or every so often, like going to the spa, like just about every week to restore, like steam room, you're starting to see it at gyms now too, because people can work out and go into the steam room or to the spas. These gyms are now integrating it, so that is beautiful, and that's extremely important, and people are getting the benefits of that.
But it's a little different.
But it's a little different if you go to a real spa, man. Like you get your own
that
little
gym
time.
Sauna be like,
you don't have to deal with someone's stinkiness or the sweat after they just get done working out. Go to the spa. Go get you a massage. Go put your feet in the water. Soak your feet. Like, take care of your body. Like, think about like the myths are just like.
Yeah, and especially like hardworking guys.
Yeah, especially.
I want to point out, like, yes, I introduced this man as the primordial mixologist, DJ, all these things, but he's also a hardworking man that does like installations, security installations, like
work a blue collar job.
Yeah, so all the other blue collar men. This is another blue collar man. Like, if you are a like construction worker, like all these things where you're like doing this backbreaking labor for the betterment of humanity. Thank you so much for your efforts.
Yes,
like we literally would not have structures without you. But please, like take care of yourself.
Body. Do not let your backs and your muscles just go day to day to day without like stretching, or just taking the time to do whatever it takes to keep yourself functioning. That doesn't include just grabbing a beer after work and just like going to the next day. Like, yes, that's relaxing. Like, yes, watch the game, kick it, do your thing, but like
it compounds negatively. And you know what I hate to see? Men that get so tight.
Oh, I get tight, man.
Like that 50-year-old moment where it's like they've been working so hard they can't even like fully extend anymore or like bend over, and it's like, or do any of these things, and they're struggling physically. Like they might even still be strong and still like working, but you can feel the struggle that's happening in their joints. It compounds and it reflects in the personality too. I've noticed you can see those restrictions and that rigidness, and it just all compounds. And then I look at little boys, and little boys are like these agile like creatures, and I'm like, what happened? Like, and I'm a big fan of eternal youth and like just staying in that longevity, and like self-care, like relaxation, naps, all of these practices are so important for that, for everybody. So how do you think that vibroacoustic therapy can impact men's mental health and men's health wellness in general? Because we've kind of expanded.
Significantly. Self-care. I'd say where there are places where you don't know how to open or begin to receive, vibroacoustic therapy will unlock those places. It will open doorways, and little bits and pieces will start to crack open that hard shell, or like just the unknown of like even where to begin, like, you know, because you may have pushed things down or shoved them down or be so hard, or, you know, whatever. Like it opens, it moves, it gives room and space, and then you really kind of start to see yourself in a healthier and just a more positive light, and you start to really, things start to come, you know, gradually, depending on the sessions needed, and, you know, what you're working with and what need, like your specific need, but it's inevitable. Like it's something that is guaranteed to just move things, where you don't have to do anything, just be there and just receive and accept it. And even if you don't, your bodies are doing it already on a subconscious level, where you don't have to be like, oh, okay, what do I have to do? Like, it's happening without you knowing it.
Yeah, totally.
You know, and then you'll start to see, and it starts to come out. And then when you start to see, you want more, because you're like, wow, like I've never felt this way before. I didn't think I could feel this way.
It feels good to feel good.
It feels good to feel good. It feels good to have something that like makes you feel new.
New, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Renewal, regenerative. These are the regenerative arts. So
yeah, man.
That feels very resonant.
Yeah.
All right, so my last question for you for this section, this topic is, what are some of the practices you do tandem with the primordial music therapy to harness your masculinity?
Ooh, breath work. I would say breath work is one of those big ones. I do a lot of fire breathing. Fire breathing like brings in that chi, that chakra, like that root energy up, and I just feel like a dragon, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, while listening to like an alpha wave, or like
you really like the binaural
Man,
beats.
I love the binaural beats, because like I can feel my brain shifting into that state while I'm also focusing on my breath, and it's just cultivating. And then it's my beginning of my day every day, if I can.
I know.
And then I'm just like, let's get it.
It's such a powerful aura of like energy when he's meditating, that like me and Onyx, I don't know if you guys seen the little white cat running around. I don't even meditate in the morning. I just like, we curl up in his lap. We just like take the vibes in. I'm like, you just do that for us. We're just going to lay here and receive all the residual. We're like secondhand meditators.
Yeah.
We don't even have to participate.
The frequencies.
Yeah, that's so cool. I love that you love those. And that makes, you know, as hosts, it makes us really balanced, because like, for me, I'm one of those people, like, I can make tonal stuff and I like it and everything, but I like need more. I need the music to be there. I need the journey to be there to help me to move and flow, and like I like to have all of that. I very rarely just like straight up listen to binaural beats or like any of the pure tones.
That's the masculine energy of just give me to where I need to go.
Straight up, like I will though. Like I'll throw like a straight up binaural on the table and like sit on the table with no headphones on. Like usually if I do work with it, it's like I just want the entrainment in my body. Because so I just love that, and I share that because it just shows you how diverse the collection is that's been created. And you know, I'm thinking about everybody and how to serve everybody's needs inside of like sound therapy, like the focal point, you know, being the nervous system, but still expansive from there.
For all,
because it's like, you know, like I could just like not make those because I don't like them, but I do. And, you know, I really try to hone in on making binaural beats in such a way where they're very much rooted within other healing frequencies, and that they're in octave ranges that are like digestible. Like I've heard higher pitch binaural beats than the ones that I make. I don't make them too abrasive.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah,
like,
they're very much, they're
crafted,
smooth.
like,
I love the silk. Silk is like
silk.
the word for me when I'm producing.
Silk Johnson.
Silk. Yeah. So, I mean, we've been talking a lot. I'll say it again. No shame in my game. You should feel it for yourself. Stop by one of our locations, get a vibroacoustic therapy session. You're going to want to stop by one of our locations to get a vibroacoustic therapy session, because all vibroacoustic therapy is not created equally.
Mm-mm.
So you've heard all of our yum-yums. And if you decide to just go somewhere random and you don't have a yum-yum experience, that is because it was not primordial vibroacoustic therapy. There are some crucial differences between what we do and what is out there. I'll give you a couple of those. Won't go too deep because we will go deeper into this in a future episode. But one is the frequency range. A lot of these vibroacoustic therapy companies are cutting off at 20 hertz, like a commercial speaker system. There is so much healing magic below 20 hertz. It's insane. And that's one piece. Another piece is, our device partner. Shout out to Chaz. BioVibe devices for vibroacoustic therapy. That's what we have on our website. Those are the ones that create transformation on the physical healing level as well as the emotional healing level. I can't do vibroacoustic therapy on regular vibroacoustic therapy devices because I am a high electricity being. I can walk past an outlet and shock myself. Like it'll like literally like the electricity will shoot out the fucking socket at me if I walk past too fast, or if I'm just too like high strung. It'll just like. And so normal vibroacoustic therapy devices are too much electricity and they actually start to induce inflammation in me, which I need the opposite of that. And what I love about our BioVibe devices is that it has all of this additional PEMF conditioning and these like patented Tesla coils on the speakers, things to bring that negative ionic charge that we need, that like release of all the EMF that we pick up on from our phones and the 5G towers and the 6G towers and the Elon Musk satellites and all the things, like everything everywhere, and just electricity in general. And the fact we are like positive ions. So I need that balance. I find that like for chronic pain management and for anything inflammatory based, these are the tables that really work, and that feeling and like just the love and like we were talking about at the beginning, like those who have healed themselves with something are best suited to heal others with it. And that's what I love about my sound brother Chaz, because he's been doing the work. We've been homies for so long. Like we've been on this mission, working on ourselves, healing ourselves through sound, communicating with it for over 10 years. Like it's been a long time of like that connection. And like I love these devices. And so just know that with us. And also the same thing with all of the other things that we've been telling you about what the effects of this music and what it can do. Like if you just go on YouTube and think you're about to find something that is like this, it's not gonna happen. I'm sorry. Like a lot of the YouTube sound healing music is placebo. It's a wishful thought. There's just levels to it. And I'll leave it at that. We can go more into it on a later episode.
Science.
Yeah, there's levels to this. But yeah, that be that. Couple announcements. We got new music about to drop on the platform. Yeah. Stoked. Yeah, I'm really pumped for these
new mixes.
Yeah. Steady beats. Alpha Wave Steady Beats by our mixologist. Compositions by me. I've been working on some new collections of tempo beats, house tracks, hip hop beats.
I'm stoked. I can't wait.
All sorts of cool stuff for us to like get stuff done to. New drops. We got some new vibroacoustic therapy drops coming out. I'm really pumped on. We've got just dropped the 30-minute nervous system transformation or nervous system reset. Yeah, we had the 10-minute one out. The 30-minute one of that is out.
It's over.
About to drop the hour-long one.
It's over.
And that one's going to be really special. I'll share more later. To be continued. There's some special things that are going to emerge in that one. And Yeah, what else? We've got a Sound Academy.
What else?
Sound Academy. The Sound Academy is
live.
up and running. We've been working on getting that up and running, so we'll share more about that too. But that's a place where once you are a subscriber, you can learn how to best use the catalog. You can talk with other people that are using it. You can hear feedback from people who are using it in sessions of various types and just personal experiences. So yeah, come into the Primordial family, become a part of the movement of nervous system transformation for yourself and your community. This is regenerative art. For me, regenerative art means it like has a life-giving effect, and reciprocity and mutuality to it, where it is not harming anyone, not the giver, not the receiver, and the giver and the receiver, those lines get blurred when things are truly regenerative. And it's like, what I love is like everyone who has become a subscriber to Primordial has had an experience of transformation, a real true self-healing experience, and then they choose what they want to do with that. Right. They either choose to keep that private and keep it as their personal practice, or they choose to share it and empower their community to have that transformation too. So yeah. So we can't wait.
Lots
to
of
see
cool things to come.
In our spaces.
Stay tuned.
Remember to like and subscribe and share this wherever you did see it. And check out the caption description. There's good stuff in there. Links. Knowledge is power. Reading is cool. Peace out, y'all. Thanks for tuning in to the Wavelength again. This is where we discuss all things healing with sound. I'm TRENETI.
I'm CHAUNCEY.
We love you.
Oh man, you took that. We love you. I was gonna say it.
I said it first.